Good afternoon, readers. Today I want to talk about a very important strategy that you should always use when you're reading. You probably already do this and don't even know it. Today we're going to talk about schema. It's kind of a strange word, so what is schema? Schema is all of the information that you already have in your brain. For example, it's your prior knowledge, which are things you've already learned, maybe something you learned in first or second grade or kindergarten, or maybe even something you've already learned this year in third grade. Schema is also your past experiences, things you've done, places you've seen, and also your memories. You use all of these things as a reader to help you understand the books that you're reading. You can use your schema in nonfiction books, just like Knuffle Bunny. You probably used your schema in Knuffle Bunny without even knowing it. I bet some of you have experienced going to a big city and seeing the apartment buildings and seeing a laundromat on the corner. Maybe it's different from your life, but you've seen it or heard about it or seen it in a show or read about it somewhere else. That's your schema. You might have been able to realize that babies don't really talk normally when they're that young. You know that babies say first words, and so all of those things went into your schema as you were reading Knuffle Bunny. Knuffle Bunny too, when we read that, you used your schema to predict what might happen. You knew that Trixie was older now. You knew that Knuffle Bunny was special to her. And you used that information, your prior knowledge, things you already learned about the first Knuffle Bunny, where you were able to activate your schema. And some of you gave me some great answers and great things to think about in Knuffle Bunny too. Now going back to schema, a good thing to remember is that your schema always grows and changes. As you get older, as you learn more things, and as you have more experiences, your schema will change based on those experiences and it will grow. So schema is something that will not always stay the same, but what will stay the same is that you will always use your schema. It's kind of like our mental file cabinet. Just like I have the file cabinet in my closet back there that I'm able to pull out things when I want to teach a new skill. If I want to use it from the year before, I can pull that out of my file cabinet. You have a mental file cabinet, a file cabinet in your brain that holds all of your schema. And if you use it while you're reading, it really helps you to predict when you come to a tricky word. It helps you to understand what's happening in the story or in the nonfiction text. And it helps you to become the best reader you can be. We will use schema throughout this year and we will talk about it. You've already used it without knowing it, but now I'm going to expect you to know what I say when I say, activate your schema, readers. So the assignment for tomorrow is for you to think about schema. I want you to think about the nonfiction story that we read in our book on Monday. It was called Champions of the World. I want you to write down on the card that I've given you something that you had already known about baseball or a past experience you've had with baseball. That would have been your schema that you started out with before reading this article. Be sure to write it down on the paper that I gave you today. And as always, you'll need to report the password to me. You'll need to put your name on a sheet of paper and write this password down. File cabinet. The password is file cabinet. If you'll write that down with your name on a piece of paper, and when you come to school in the morning, wad it up and throw it in my bucket. Until tomorrow. Have a great night.